Hello there, welcome to episode 5 of Life is Strange True Colours. Thanks for joining me. A little bit of housekeeping to start with to do with notes. I don't know whether you're aware, but I actually have 2 sets of notes. And the reason I'm mentioning it is because it's been pointed out to me that it takes me something like 3 hours to make my notes about an episode and only 1 hour to film the gameplay for that episode. And it's quite a heavy ratio, that, isn't it, of 25% gameplay and 3/4 of it, 75% being making notes and thinking about what's happened in the episode. How this happens is simply this. After I've finished an episode, I will go through the episode, watching it. There's a difference between playing the episode and actually going through it and watching it afterwards. When you're playing it, your mind isn't picking up on every single thing that happened and remembering it. You're too busy in the moment making decisions and just looking around you and soaking up all the gameplay. So afterwards, I watch the episode through, and that's how I make my recap notes. And the recap notes are essentially factual. There's no interpretation put in there at all. And they're the things that go underneath the forthcoming video to help you catch up on the previous video. That's one set of notes. They take about an hour to make. The set of notes in front of me takes more like an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes, because this is the one where it's investigative. We are hypothesizing, we're having theories, we're trying to make connections, we are trying to get at the facts of what's happened. We're looking at characters and aspects of their personality and seeing whether they tell us anything and give us any clues. We're wondering about whether people are honest or whether they are false, and what reasons and motives they could have, what it is they're trying to achieve by being like that. And all of that is the sort of stuff that's in the notes in front of me now, and which I'm going to use to talk to you. So when you add in editing the video and producing the thumbnail and stuff like that, random admin stuff that you do when you're listing a video on YouTube, it takes about 5 to 6 hours to produce an episode. So a 1 hour episode of actual activity and filming can take in the background quite a lot longer to make. And the only reason I'm mentioning this is because it was pointed out to me and I hadn't actually stopped to measure this balance. I know it's something that other YouTubers have commented on, and it's just a fact of life that if you want to go deeply into a storyline, and these kinds of stories do involve that, for me at least, then you've got to be prepared to invest that amount of time in your thinking when you're not actually playing the game. It's not true, of course, of other games. There are some categories of gaming where you simply can make a video and that's it. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to think about. You literally are just playing the game and doing it while you're there, and it's over when you finish, which is fine. But personally, I have no problem with investing this amount of time in a game like Life is Strange True Colours, because there's such quality to the storyline and the writing and the characterization, the narrative, the plot. It's a pleasure. It really is great fun. And actually, I am shuffling on my seat in excitement at the thought of talking to you about the notes that I've got in front of me. So let's stop doing the housekeeping now and press on. Episode 4. That was bookmarked in a way by the scenes that happened in the Black Lantern. At the start, it was Gabe's wake. Jed organised the wake, bless him. He is the proprietor of the Black Lantern. He's Gabe's employer. He's Gabe's friend. He liked Gabe an awful lot, and he felt Gabe was like family. So it was no hardship, I'm sure, for Jed to be the person organising it. He's been looking after Alex all week, just like I think Gabe would want him to do. He's been slipping notes under her door. I think he's been feeding her. Alex has cut herself off from the world this last week. I don't think she's been out. I don't think she's seen anybody. She's been grieving. She's been in shock. She's been dealing with Gabe's death as best she could. And it wasn't great. And I think it was Jed's gentle encouragement in the message he sent her saying, "Hi Alex, we're having this gathering to remember Gabe this morning. If you'd like to come and join us, it would be great. No pressure." I think it was Jed's gentle encouragement that actually got Alex to snap out of it a little and to come downstairs and rejoin at a sort of superficial level Haven Springs society. She's back amongst people and friends in the main too. So big tick there for Jed. I think his heart was very much in the right place in everything he did in that intervening period from what we've been able to glean. So we had this lovely gathering of people who've come to say thanks to Gabe for his life. And Duckie kicks off. Duckie has 14 instances when he can remember Gabe making him laugh. Now, it's a wake, but Duckie is exactly right. Wakes should not be somber, upsetting, horrible things. They should be celebrations. And Duckie's way of celebrating it is to think about, not just think about, but write them all down, all these times Gabe made him laugh. And it may only be Duckie who's laughing when he's telling these stories, but it's what Duckie needs to do to get it out of his system. It's a weird combination when you think about it. Duckie and Gabe, old guy, young guy, not a lot in common, except of course they both like whiskey, they both like Haven Springs, and Duckie's been around a long time. He's got stories to tell, and Gabe, I suspect, was quite a receptive sponge for those stories, and the two hit it off. And, for Duckie it's very sad because he liked Gabe and his drinking buddy's gone. Then we heard from Steph. I'll come back to Steph because obviously she met with Alex later. Steph is upset. The gist of what she told us in the wake was essentially that he was her best friend. And it left a sort of silence afterwards, and everybody thought, you are really going to feel this. Of all the people here, Steph was probably the one with the deepest knowledge of what Gabe could be like. And I even probably discount Charlotte in that respect. She was his best friend. Steph was his best friend. And I think Gabe would say she was his best friend. Then we had Riley. Riley has a superficial reason, obviously, which we know about, for liking Gabe, because Gabe was helping her with her college application and preparation for the interview. That's fine. But she made this little joke where she said, I doubt Gabe could even spell some of the words that were involved. And that made us, if you thought about it, look at it in a different way. Gabe had no academic status or background or experience to bring to this situation. He wasn't saying to Riley, I've been there, I've done this, I know how it works, trust me, do this and it'll all be fine. I think what Gabe spotted was that Riley was lacking a bit of confidence and just needed some help. She just needed to know someone was around to say, yeah, come on, we can do this. I'll help. We'll do this together. You'll get there. And that's why she's going to miss him. Because he stepped up and stepped in. And for Riley, that was a big, big thing. Obviously, we've got the memory table, which, we saw later in the episode. But, now is a good time to think about it because people left things on there. The deputy reflected about how, he first met him speeding on his bike and he was going to give him a ticket and he ended up buying him a beer. They're good friends. They're joking buddies. Ethan had left on there his drawing next to the ticket that the deputy had left. His drawing of a monster being fought. Gabe was a hero to him. He wasn't just a father figure. He was the guy who was going to go LARPing with him. He was a buddy. It's really sad. It would be completely inappropriate for Ethan at his age to have been present at the wake. And it's somewhat good that he wasn't when you think what happened next. But it was lovely to see that there. And it's nice to think that Alex put the music on there because that was a thing they both shared. When she went upstairs to look for something to, commemorate her relationship with Gabe, the music was an easy one because although she'd not seen him for those 8 years, they loved music back then and they'd already re-established their love of music in the briefest time that she knew him in Haven Springs. So it was all very lovely, and it was all very fitting and nice and, somber, but a good thing, a cathartic thing. And then it all kicked off. How did it kick off? Jed, of all people. It wasn't his fault. But Jed said something like, well, thank you for coming, friends. It's been a tragic accident, Gabe's death. And Ryan saw red and leapt in and said, it's not an accident. I cannot believe that someone at Typhon Mining hasn't messed up. Gabe phoned them. He said, don't go ahead with the blast. I'll tell you when we're clear. Then you can do the blast. Someone at Typhon Mining messed up. Mac then, of course, stirs the pot by saying, I was the person on duty that night at Typhon Mining Safety Team. If there'd been any call, I would have been the person who got it. And I'm telling you now, there was no call. Ryan, hearing this, now thinks to himself, well, you've just called me a liar. You've called Alex a liar, kind of, because Alex, although she didn't hear the actual phone call being made, did say, that she believed that Gabe had made the call. But worse for Ryan, of course, Mac is calling Gabe a liar. He's calling a dead man a liar. And Ryan won't have that. Ryan then sort of launches into this, you had an axe to grind with him, didn't you, with Gabe? You didn't like him. You went looking for him, and we all know it. It was public knowledge. And now there's this business with Riley having dumped you. So you really have got a reason to hate him, haven't you, Mac? And obviously Mac then reacts by saying, hang on, I'm not the guy who cut the rope. And basically, at that point, it's ding-ding round 2. And they're going to be at each other's throats at Gabe's wake when Charlotte steps up and shouts out, no, stop. And she calls a halt to it and tells them this is unseemly. This is a wake for remembering Gabe. This is not what he would have wanted. And it kind of stops it and kind of doesn't. Because at that point, Ryan becomes aware of all eyes on the room kind of on him in this uneasy silence. Why? Because they might be thinking, well, you started this, Ryan. Your dad was just saying about the accident, and then you started saying it's not an accident. And you might believe that. But is this the place? Is this the time? And, Jed's had enough. And basically, at this point, just chucks everyone out. Later, he apologises to Alex for how it went. And Alex gets other apologies too in the form of texts and messages and things like that. But the fact is, it degenerated. The whole thing just became, and I'm telling you, I'm wriggling on my seat, a train wreck. What should have been this peaceful act of remembrance that united people has instead got them all looking sideways and thinking, what's going on here? Is someone responsible? Who? Alex wants answers. She's got a chance to find them now because, again, thanks to Jed, she's got a base to operate from. He gave her the keys to Gabe's old room. I think that probably would have happened anyway, but the symbolic way in which he did it and the words he said, which essentially were, it's yours for as long as you like, no one's chasing you away. He's saying to her, this can be it now for you if you want, Alex. You can stop and live here in Haven Springs with us, with this community. This can be your home. And I think for Alex, she's already got a job. She's working in the Black Lantern. This could be a real opportunity to press restart. She's got a room that she doesn't pay rent on. I don't think Gabe did either. I think it just came with the job. She's earning money, or will be, in the bar so she can live. I wouldn't be at all surprised if she didn't get free food from the bar. I think, as I said, Jed's probably fed her this intervening week. I think she's getting back into the swing of things. The game made certain noises when she decided she was going to tidy up the dishes and, basically clean up in the house and sort out and get some washing sorted and things. The game's kind of signalling to us that this is Alex turning back into a functioning person who can start to get to the bottom of what's happened, because that's what she wants to do. Now she has this place from which she could do it. So that was the events of the wake. Now, the person we found out most about in episode 4 was Steph. Steph had been messaging Alex. Steph came to see Alex. Alex let her in. In part, this is extremely upsetting for Steph because she's in Gabe's room and Gabe's things are still all there. Alex hasn't had time to do anything. She's not done anything. She's left Gabe's room like a shrine. His bike is there, his skateboard is there, the LARPing sword is there, the fuzzball table, the video games, the music. The whole lot for Steph triggers memories as she's walking around the room. It's clear from it that they spent an enormous amount of time together. It suggests she's telling the truth, that they really were best friends, and that Gabe thought about it in exactly the same way that she did. She was his best friend too. Even I suspect Charlotte would have felt unconcerned by it because she recognised it for what it was. It was simply, it just happened to be that Steph is a girl and Gabe was really good friends with her. Now, yeah, all right, you could say Ryan and Gabe were best friends, but I think there's some sort of reciprocity there between Steph and Gabe. I think he'd find it hard to choose. Ryan was his best friend in one way, but Steph was his best friend in another, I think. She cries. Steph actually cries at the memories of all these things that she's feeling about Gabe. And yeah, tears can be faked. Remember this thing about we've got to look for someone who's responsible here. We've got to have suspects. Let's not discount her completely. But what I don't think could be faked was the emotion that she felt and which Alex used her superpower to sense. She sensed sadness. She sensed that Steph was genuinely grief-stricken by Gabe's death. And she wanted to do something about it. These 1,000 memories that Steph has about Gabe riding his bike, and she's got stories in her head about everything. All of these things, I think, become available to Alex. She can feel them and she knows them despite the person. It might be that Steph didn't want to share all this with Alex, but she has shared it because of the intensity of her emotions, and Alex can feel intense emotions and she can feel the knowledge that's creating them too. It's even down to Gabe that Steph stayed in Haven Springs because she was for moving to Denver, and they technically played fuzzball to decide whether she went or stayed, and she stayed. But Gabe had this theory that she deliberately lost when she was playing him for fuzzball because she didn't want to go, and she didn't take a lot of persuading to stay. I think he's probably the person who made her reside in Haven Springs in the first place after her band came there because he booked them. She met him. She looked around Haven Springs. She liked it. She told Izzy in the band that her time there was over because she wanted a change and this was the right time for it. She became station manager. She took up the record shop. Steph's whole life in Haven Springs, if you trace it back, starts with Gabe. So he's an immense presence in her life, and I think it's genuine. I think the grief that she feels is genuine. It's clever of Alex to use this superpower of hers to try and ease that feeling by, suggesting, shall we play video games? Didn't work. She goes for the fuzzball and using her memories of how they were, how Gabe spoke to her, how Steph reacted to him. She sort of shapes her interaction with Steph to be in a similar vein. A sort of jokey, challenging, bravado type interaction that they had between them, and it worked. Steph did cheer up to a point. She did ease her sadness, which is what Alex said she wanted to do. And I think it eased Alex's a little bit too. Plus there's this kind of bonding. I think Alex wants to get to know Steph. I think she wants to get to know her in the sense that she wants to be able to trust her. She may be trusting Jed, and she may be trusting Ryan, but it's different in Steph's case. I get the feeling, there was the question about what Alex's preferences were in romantic relationships, and I didn't answer it because it took me by surprise, to be honest. It just came up on the screen so long, and I was thinking about something else, and I looked down and there it was ticking away, thinking, by the time I'd looked at it, it had chosen for me. Essentially, it had chosen to defer it, I think. I'm hoping they will come back to that conversation at some later point. I think it could be important because I think Steph is looking for a deeper relationship with Alex already. I think Alex might be receptive to it. I don't know. Perhaps there will be this other chance for them to meet. I hope there is, because I don't think that's finished business yet. So where do we go from here? Let's think about what's next. We need to start interviewing people. Alex is going out into Haven Springs. She's got an invitation to go and talk to Charlotte, who wants to see her. Charlotte will be in the pharmacy, so that's something she's got to do. She knows where Mac is because she asked Jed. He says he helps out at the flower shop from time to time. And she wants to grill him because Alex told Jed she's convinced that Mac is lying. Now, whether she meant he's lying about the entire thing, or whether it was just specifically about the phone call that he says he didn't receive from Gabe, we don't know. But she wants to grill him. He's a target. Jed's warned us that we shouldn't expect too much from talking to Mac. Whether he means Mac doesn't know a lot, or whether he means Mac is a sort of taciturn character who's going to hide it all until it's really forced out of him, I don't know. But Jed has this feeling about Mac, which I think we should take into account. We should take it under advisement. He seems pretty intelligent, Jed. He seems pretty knowledgeable and wise. If he suspects Mac is hiding something and, he's not going to give you everything you need to know, then I think that may well be what happens in the first instance. Ryan's also messaged Alex, of course, to say he really needs to talk to her. And we know the wake can't have been easy for him, but, he had the memory at that wake, I think, of the wake held for his own mother. Jed said there'd been another wake there, and it turned out that's who it was. It was Ryan's mum, Jed's wife. So I'm absolutely positive part of what happened and Ryan's unease and inability to cope, to handle what was going off, was partly rooted in these memories that he had of having done this before in a similarly tragic circumstance when his mum died. Riley also, in a text that she sent, mentioned something intriguing, that Gabe had come to Haven Springs to look for his father. And I had a what moment at that point, because unless I've missed something, which is entirely possible, I don't think I did though. That's the first time we've heard that. And it is, it shows that you should always read your text messages and, group messages as it was on her phone. But it also says that Alex has a massive motive now to go and find Riley and talk to her to get some more information about this, because it could be important. And finally, I was thinking in the intervening period between the two episodes, Ryan questioned, is Typhon mining at fault here? If it's not Mac, is it Typhon mining, or is Typhon mining off the hook? Jed called it an accident, but I'm starting to think in that whole room of people, he's the only one now who thinks it was. I think they've all got suspicions that something's happened. Typhon's texts, they were entirely appropriate, but they were creepy and very corporate. And, they were impersonal in many ways. And really, I think it would have been better had they not sent those messages. Where is that lady that Duckie was talking to? Is she in some way connected with liaison with the community? She wasn't dressed as a miner. I don't know. What is her role? Does she know anything that we should know? Right, okay, look, the gloves are off. We've got to get on the trail. Alex is standing at the doorway waiting to go and do it, so let's join her. Let's crack on with episode 5 of Life is Strange, True Colours. Oh, will you look at this? It's beautiful out there, Alex. It's jaw-droppingly beautiful, isn't it?
Jed said I might find Mac in the flower shop. But I have time to swing by the dispensary if I want.
Yes. I would like to do that. I very much would like to do that. Yeah, can we come by the dispensary sometime? We've added something to the memories table. I'm looking on the notes to self over on the side. I'm just going to move myself the other side so you can see them. In fact, I might stay that side because it's a good side to be. I've got to investigate the flower shop. I've got to visit the dispensary, and I can go and call in on Steph at the record store. That's a good thing to do. All right, Charlotte. Oh, there was an unseen, unnoticed message there too. All right. Steph Gingrich, I'm cooking up a new adventure for Haven. DM me if you want to get involved. You do. Julia Crow, what insanity is coming for us next? Steph Gingrich, DM me, find out. Hector Gonzalez, whatever that is, I'm in. All right. Visit Steph or visit Charlotte. I'm gonna look around on the way. Hello, mining cart.
This is probably the most Haven thing I've seen yet.
It's a good thing to have in your square, isn't it? Let's have a wander around and see if we can interact with many of these articles.
On one hand, there's the open road and the freedom to run away from my problems. On the other, healthcare.
Yes, stay, Alex, and sort this stuff out.
Oh, you heard about the accident?
We want to hear this.
Was it on the news? No one's been fired. Yet.
Keep chatting, we're listening.
Yes, Mom. I still have a job at Typhon. They still have plans to expand.
Don't mind me, I'm just looking at these flowers and listening to your conversation.
No, Mom. It would not help for you to call them. I don't know. It's going to be a vote or something.
Alex, you look so suspicious.
Oh, the town? Yeah, it's nice. You'd like it.
Keep talking.
No, the mine doesn't ruin the view.
Well, that's probably true. I mean, you can't see a lot of it.
What's that? Yeah, okay.
Is that? Have we finished?
Oh, sure. I can do that.
What is that? You can tell us who did it?
I gotta go.
Oh, is that because I'm listening? What if I get right in your face?
Okay. I'll call her next week. Mom, I got it. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, hang up for goodness sake.
Okay. Yeah.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye, Mom.
Bye. She's not finished. Dude, your phone's not working anymore. Mum's hung up. You're just pretending to have a phone call. That's really sad. Why would you do that? We have a little quad bike thing. We have a fishing boat, which I'll look at.
I wonder how many fish Duckie's caught in this thing.
A good question. Maybe you could ask him next time you see him. This is just beautiful. There's so much to interact with, and every little bit just makes us feel a little bit more immersed. Oh, we can sit. I'm just going to sit on the dock of the bay. What? Poor Alex. I'm going to pop myself back over this side. Sorry, I'm
Do
not
I
trying to
even
give you a
want
headache.
Stay here without Gabe. In this state I've never been to before. This town I've been in for less than a week.
Where else are you going to go, Alex?
Not that I know where else I'd even go. Back to the nothing waiting for me in Portland.
I love it when I do that.
Fuck. I have no idea what comes next.
Oh no, poor Alex.
But I'm not leaving here without answers about Gabe.
Yes.
At least I know that.
Yes, Alex. Yes, Alex Chen, come on. Don't put your foot in that water, it looks like it's got some horrible chemicals in it. It's a very weird colour. Come on, Alex, you can't sit there all day. Wow, isn't that just beautiful? Whoever drew that, whoever animated it, it's so cinematic. This is a lovely, peaceful place. It is therapeutic for her, isn't it? Okay, come on, girl. We can't sit here all day. We're going to go and look for some potential criminals. Let's pop over here. Hello.
The park looks fun to explore.
Do you think we should? Come on then. I do. You should learn to run.
If not for the paddling, kayaking would be super relaxing.
I mean, come on. It does look a really nice place. You could just paddle around the bay, couldn't you? Look at it. It's beautiful. What is not to like? I'm betting we can look at this flower cart here.
Tragically, now isn't the time to check out the rest of Haven.
Okay, game. Thank you. I wondered if it was going to let me go too far off the beaten track. Good mechanic. Like
The
it.
park looks fun to explore.
Yeah, but I can't because I'm busy. We've got to pursue some criminals and look for intent.
The park looks fun to explore.
I know you keep saying that, Alex. Please stop. Please. I swear if you say it one more time I'm going to scream.
I used to babysit Ethan when he was little.
Ah,
This whole thing is so horrible.
we want to listen.
Him over by the water? Yeah, he looked rough. I didn't talk to him. I wasn't really sure what to say.
I'm going to come back in a moment, Birdwatcher. I just want to make sure I don't miss these two guys' conversation if it's going any further. Glasses guy.
The park looks fun to explore.
Please stop saying that.
There's literally nothing I can do for Ethan. I feel so useless.
I've been there.
Yes. So don't sweat it. There's nothing you can do. So many people knew Ethan, didn't they? I'm guessing Birdwatcher Lady knew him too.
Where are you hiding, my feathered friend? Please, I need you.
Is she looking for a bird? Maybe I'll keep an ear out.
Okay. I'm not sure it's top of your to-do list for this morning. You know, listen for bird, find murderer of brother. Prioritization.
The park looks fun to explore.
You keep saying that. I have to interrogate Deputy Pike's emotions. Let's have a chat.
Hey, Pike.
Hey,
Everybody calls him Pike.
how you holding up?
She's been better. Let's say you're okay. Come on, let's try and be, you know, let's be upright about it.
I'm okay.
Okay, is good. I think.
He's a people person.
Hey, I want you to know I meant what I said back there. Gabe was something else. He could bring a smile to my face even on the worst days.
Yeah. That's what everyone's been saying.
And, when you're ready, I still need to get your statement for the investigation.
Have you got everybody else's statements? Why is he smiling? I'll be ready soon.
I think I'll be ready soon.
Yeah. No rush.
I think we need to talk to Mac again before we decide whether he's a liar, or at least before we declare him to be a liar to an officer of the law. What are you feeling at the moment?
Poor kid. Came all the way out here for her brother. And now,
I've got to figure out the truth.
Yes. So let's keep away from the park. I don't think we need to speak to Pike again because we've spoken to him already. Oh, this place is big.
The park looks fun to explore.
I know, Alex. I know you want to go to the park. I promise if we have time.
This location gets all the foot traffic. And word around the water cooler?
Oh, customers here are a lot nicer than in Denver.
Never been to Denver, but I guarantee they're nice here.
Yes.
About that accident.
Ooh.
Frankly, I'm a little spooked. If Typhon goes under, I'd lose all my business.
Yes.
It's very unlikely that anything with Typhon will change. They've been the largest employer in Haven for decades.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sold.
Glad to hear it. I'll draw up the contract and call you tomorrow to talk next steps.
Great.
Yes. Well, alright. You listened to the realtor, didn't you? And the fact is, if Typhon Mining are guilty in all of
Nothing
this...
says festive, like 3 exclamation points.
Yes. The Spring Festival.
Might be a good time to check out the dispensary. Jed said Charlotte wants to talk to me.
I shall do that. I'm just reading the ballot
I might be too
notice.
close to the issue to have an unbiased opinion, but fuck this.
Yes. I mean, you'd have to say it's probably not raised the value of Typhon Mining stock amongst the inhabitants of Haven Springs. And here they are. The council wants to sell them no more than 20 acres to Typhon Mining for use in an open pit mine. And we know about this, don't we? They're promising that the proceeds of it will go to help the community. Blah-de-blah-de-blah.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey.
hello. Hey. I'm just listening. Let's look at...
Might be a good time to check out the dispensary.
I know.
Jed,
Come on, man. Can't you take a hint? She's not into you. Let it go.
that's rough.
She really is perceptive, isn't she? And let's see what Galfriend is talking about in her head.
If I tell him I like him, we'll date, and then we'll break up. And then I'll lose my best friend.
Oh,
Maybe I could help them. Wait,
what a quandary.
hell no. What am I thinking? This is none of my business.
Yeah, but you know, if you've got your superpower, you could practice it on these people. Never mind. Let's have a look at the mural before we go in to see Charlotte. It's a moose. Is it a moose?
Guess they didn't feel like painting the mine.
No, why would you? Why would a mining community paint pictures of a mine if they got a moose to paint instead? Alright, this is going to be rough. Let's do it.
Oh, sorry.
It may be enough to make me turn to drink. It's blackcurrant.
We met briefly. You're Gabe Chen's sister, right?
Yes.
Alex, yeah.
I didn't know him well, but I could tell he had a big heart. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Is that sincere? Do you think that was sincere? I don't think she was sincere. That would have been a great time to use your superpower, Alex. What were you thinking? Okay, Charlotte. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this. Poor Charlotte. Dispensary. Okay, Alex Shen, I don't expect to see you in here again, alright? Just saying.
Charlotte,
Alex, hey.
She's got no customers.
Jed said you wanted to see me?
I just wanted to see how you were doing.
Staying busy.
I've been trying to stay busy mostly.
This is true.
Yeah. Distractions help.
Yes, they do, he said, shuffling on his
How
chair.
about you? I can't even imagine what you're going through.
Honestly, I'm really trying to keep it together for Ethan. He's hurting.
Where is Ethan?
I hear he's been having a rough time.
He practically just lost a father.
Yes, we knew this. I said this.
But he's shutting me out. He's never done that before. Not when it mattered.
He needs time.
Everyone grieves differently. Maybe he just needs some time.
We've been through a lot together. With the divorce and moving.
Backstory.
He's never shut down like this. I just can't get through to him.
I think we know what's coming here, don't we? Come on, Alex.
I can't get over the feeling that the one person who could help me deal with the aftermath of Gabe's death
Yes.
is Gabe.
Well, yes. Or...
What is this?
Yeah, what is
An
this?
affidavit from Typhon. If I sign, I'm agreeing not to press charges in exchange for a payment. A big one.
They're buying you off, Charlotte. I don't think she'd tell you how big, but I think you could say that's shady. Should we ask her how big it is? She's not going to say. She's not going to say. I'm going to ask her how big.
How big are we talking?
It's send Ethan to college big.
Oh, my
Shit.
lord.
Are you gonna sign it?
Tempting.
I don't know. I'm trying to put Ethan first, but
But Typhon are hiding something, Charlotte?
what would you do?
Oh.
Do you think it would be a betrayal of Gabe?
Oh, what a question. Please take the money, turn the offer down. Oh, I'm gonna say... Ethan will be alright, turn it down.
I don't think you should sign it. I'm sorry. I know it's hard, but you can't let Typhon buy you off.
Yeah, and is this the first time they've done it, Jed?
Gabe made that call, and I'm gonna prove it. I need some time.
How long have you got?
Thanks for being honest.
She is. Unfortunately, she's honest. I think that's her superpower, actually.
If
Her
they're
honesty.
willing to pay Charlotte to keep quiet, they're definitely hiding something.
And that is the conclusion to
I
which
really
we...
appreciate you stopping by. Feel free to take a look around if you want.
I shall, thank you. I will look
Yeah,
around
okay.
at this plaque, which is conveniently situated next to an ATM.
And he did it all with one rusty saw and a bottle of gin. Impressive.
What did he do? Qualfeather Sanatorium. Built in 1919, the Qualfeather Sanatorium operated successfully until its closing in 1927. Under the guidance of Dr. Martin Kellogg, over 500 influenza and tuberculosis patients were treated and cured. I do know that word. Let's do a sense on Charlotte.
Of course. She's right. But I could really use that money.
Yes, that's undoubtedly true.
Win, no matter how hard it is.
No. It's going to be difficult. But look on the bright side. Please don't tell me we've got to look at a bong. I'll look if you tell me to. I don't want to speak with Charlotte because I've already looked. I'm going to have to go around the other side of the counter here because this thing's not playing game. Look at the magazines first.
It blows my mind that Charlotte's been running the dispensary this whole time. I couldn't even leave the apartment.
Here's her letter that she wrote. Hi everyone, as you may have heard, someone very close to me has recently passed away. The last few days have been very hard on me and Ethan, but we're doing our best to keep our heads up. So many of you have reached out with kind words, and that has meant the world. I cannot thank you enough for your support. I'll try to open the store for a few hours every afternoon, but things will probably be a little sporadic for the next few weeks. Sorry for any inconvenience, and thank you in advance for your patience. Your friendly neighbourhood bartender, whatever that one of those is, Charlotte. Back. What else can we look at here? Magazines.
God, put some clothes on.
Yeah, okay, we've seen that. And strain list. These things I do not understand what they are.
Needing a PhD to smoke pot.
I don't know.
Stairway to Haven.
Believe it or not, Gabe named that one.
Oh, I believe it.
Sculpture. Is that one of yours, Charlotte? Couldn't stop yourself, could you? I think it's probably meant to evoke that reaction.
In the Dominican, they're said to house the spirits of gods. Mostly, I just like how it looks.
Good, good.
I really love Charlotte's style.
She's very artistic. She really is. That's a cactus. I don't think we can look at a cactus.
There's something you don't see in Portland.
Slightly different climate, I believe. Do you know there's so much to see here? I will go and look. Oh, hang on. We can also look at pipes.
Those pipes are so cool. They're like works of art that can also get you high.
Okay, Alex, your voice has gone really weird at that point.
Probably cost more than my bus ticket.
I would imagine it probably would. Oh, t-shirts, they might be cheaper.
Sweet logo. Bet Charlotte designed it herself.
I would take a piece of that bet. Are we allowed into the back room? I think we are. We are allowed into the back room. And this is where it is.
Bougie dispensaries are going to put all the creepy dudes named Gene out of business.
Okay. And we've got gummies. All these new words to me.
Circumstances, I could definitely go for a few of these.
I don't think you could. You need to keep a really clear head for what you've got to do here.
There's nothing quite like a cup of weed on a cold day.
Wow. I mean, is there anything Charlotte hasn't... Hang on. That's a bit out of place. Why is there a chisel there?
Charlotte's dedication to her art is so inspiring.
Okay. I don't think we can go into Charlotte's office and studio. No, we can't. Alright, then we found out a good number of things.
And which part of the brain is responsible for the crazy glowy feelies?
The only thing your shop's missing is customers. Are we going to say goodbye to Charlotte now? She's still thinking the same thing. She's
right.
still thinking the same thing. She could really use the money. And Alex says, gotta stay strong. Gotta stay strong. Okay, I'm off now. Bye, Charlotte. Okay, that was interesting. So Typhon could be seen as trying to buy Charlotte's silence. They don't want an investigation. They don't want this rumbling on. They want to bury it, which is appropriate, if somewhat ghastly. Thinking what happened to Gabe. Okay.
Still need to check the flower shop for Mac.
You do. We'll carry on down here. This was the warning about the blasting. We've read that.
Being on hold. I love this song. Finally. Cancel AAA membership. No, I said cancel.
They've renewed it.
Cancel. Not transfer. Cancel.
Oh, these automated message systems that listen to you.
Representative.
Can't understand you for some reason.
person.
Don't we all?
I just want to talk to a person.
Good luck with that.
It's fine. I love being on hold. I love this song.
Yeah.
Finally. Cancel AAA membership.
It's going to go around in a circle, isn't it?
No, I said cancel.
All right.
Cancel.
That would be about right. Yeah, yikes.
Representative.
The one I love most is the one where it says, your call is important to us. And I always think, yeah, but not so important that you employ enough people to be able to answer it instead of keeping me waiting.
Just want to talk to a person.
Yes, don't we all? Make that connection. Talk with a person. A real person. Alright. We're going to hit the flower shop. Brace yourselves. Come on, Alex. Is Mac even in here? I think Mac might be. I still don't quite know what to make of Charlotte's. She's going to want to take the money. She really is going to want to take the money. It's going to be so tempting. Hey, Eleanor. Long time no see. Where's Riley? Where's...
Eleanor?
She's in a world of her own.
Sorry.
Another
No,
death.
Apologize. How are you, dear?
Oh.
I'm
We're not being asked to say this time. Adjusting.
still just trying to adjust, I think.
Give yourself some time. Change is always hard.
Oh gosh, do you know any more of these things to say? And then awkward silence.
Oh, he was helping me not too long ago. I think he just left. Can't have gotten too far.
Got it. Thanks.
Now, what was I?
Oh, Eleanor. Oh, Eleanor. Whoa. Whoa. What's this? This is very strange.
She looks terrified. I can't leave her like this.
No. Can we try to find out why? I'm trying. Hang on. I'm trying, game. I'm trying. Good Lord. Come on. Here we go. What's the trauma, Eleanor? Something's very wrong here.
Okay. Time to figure out why she's afraid.
You can say that again.
How does she hide all of this?
Why is she so afraid? Alright, we're going to have to look around in here. I'm going to look at these weird things. Ah! No, I've done that bit. Game, I've done that.
How does she hide all of this?
I don't know. We're trying to find out. Right, let's go. Every inch of this place. Leave no stone unturned. I'm going to start in the back because it's behind everywhere else. It's in the fridge. It's not in the fridge. Hello? What's this?
If Riley finds out.
Finds out?
Can't find out.
What can't Riley find out? This is her grandmother. Oh my god, is she not her grandmother?
Thank you, dear. I'll get started on it right away. Just come by with the check whenever you're free.
Okay. That's where she's been taking orders from people. I suspect the gnome. I'm always suspicious of gnomes on shelves. Okay, there's nothing else. I don't think there's anything else in there. Even though that's glowing purple, it doesn't lead itself to interrogation. So that's a no. That's employees only. That's employees only. Not to be confused with employees only. That's weed killer and stuff, so... We know about these.
The doctor said I had more time, but everything is becoming so out of order.
Okay. Has Eleanor got some sort of degenerative disease? Is it like a dementia thing going on? And she's kind of finding it difficult to keep contact with reality around her? Is that why she's feeling out of control? I'm not sure what else there is that we need to sense apart from this cash register with cards. Has she been making mistakes?
All my memories are fading.
Yes, it's what it is.
I feel broken.
Oh, we know that feeling, don't we, Alex? Oh, poor Eleanor. That's why she's terrified.
How does she hide all of this?
I don't know. Is there any more for us to find out? I don't know that there is. The sound is still going on. I'm just quickly looking on here. Find out why Eleanor is afraid, it still says. And I'm going to switch myself back over to the other side. Because reasons. I don't want to be in the way of any text there in case something really juicy comes up. We've done that. We've interrogated the Blooms. We've done the cash register, haven't we? I think we did. I mean, I don't think there was anything else to do with the cash register. We've missed something. We've missed something here. Got to look around one more time. Eleanor, don't worry. We're getting to the bottom of it. I'm here to help. Oh, is it the closed sign?
If they know about my condition, they'll make me close this place.
She is. She's concealing it. That's what she's hiding. She's had a diagnosis. And back to reality.
Holy shit.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, not back to reality. This is creepy with a capital cr. Oh my god. Is this what Eleanor is seeing? This is what's terrifying her. She's seeing the place crumbling before her eyes. She's losing it. This thing that she's worked so hard for. She's scared. Alex, go talk to Eleanor.
It's not just that she forgot what she was doing. She's afraid she's forgetting everything. But how can I help her?
I don't know, but let's try.
Forget what you were working on?
You could say I'm having a bit of a senior moment.
Well, maybe I can help.
Let's retrace steps.
Seems like you have a lot going on today. I could help you retrace your steps.
Oh, I don't want to keep you.
Come on, Eleanor. Accept the help. She's there for you.
Hey. I want to help.
She knows, Eleanor. She knows. Does Eleanor sense that she knows? Alright, we're retracing steps.
What would Eleanor have done first?
I don't know. First she must have done this.
Did you trim these flowers today?
I don't remember.
Alright, okay. Did you comb the gnome's beard? Oh, this music is, I mean, this sound effect is so spooky. Come with me, Eleanor. You must have done something we can interrogate. The register. Did you do this first?
You were over here when I came in.
Yes.
Maybe you were counting the drawer.
Maybe. Oh, look at the register.
You don't have to do this. I'll be all right on my own.
No, you won't.
Hey.
Of course you won't.
I'm not going anywhere.
No, don't leave her on her own, Alex. She needs your help, whether she wants it or not. The fridge is still glowing, sort of purplish colour that keeps going on and off and off. Was it the photograph? Did she look at the photograph?
Did anything happen with Riley?
I don't know.
Oh, gosh, I hope not. I'm going to the Typhon.
Did you maybe call someone?
Or did someone call you?
Say for sure.
Oh! Alright, that's weird of its own accord. Do you know, actually, Alex, I wouldn't have left Eleanor on her own in the shop because she could have wandered off. What did you do first? There has to be something in this room that's going to identify as being done first. That's the first thing she did. She opened the shop.
You must have flipped the sign to open.
Mm-hmm.
I always flip it first thing when I come in.
Why did I not think about that?
Then I open my mail.
Now she's got it.
Something must have distracted me.
Mm-hmm.
Better. We can do this.
I hope so. It's a wee bit spooky. What did she do next? Then she did the register, I'll bet. We will go and try the register again. Second.
You were over here when I came in. Maybe you were counting the drawer.
I would have done that last night.
Okay, so it wasn't the register. We're running out of things here. Let's do the flowers. Was this second?
Did you trim these flowers today?
I don't remember.
Darn. Let's go back into the back room. She opened the shop. Maybe she came in to the telephone then.
Could a phone call have distracted you?
Yes.
I got a call first thing in the morning. But I can't think who it was.
Maybe we can find something to remind you.
Well, it wasn't Gabe. What's going to remind her of who was on the phone?
Could it have been Riley who called?
I think that's right. She called to tell me about a new order. Goodness. What was the order for?
Eleanor, you're doing really well here, and in another way, you're not doing really well at all. You've forgotten all of these things, not just the first of them. Was it for the flowers that you were trimming?
Rush order.
Yes.
This must be what Riley came in for.
Yes. We've read it.
I think that order might have been for these lilies.
Of course. Riley helped me pick them out before she left.
Now we just have to figure out who ordered them.
She has lost so much of this. Which we will do by... well, it won't be the register. And there's nothing around here. I think we're going to have to go into the back room again, Eleanor, to find out who ordered them. And also, why the people in the sci-fi shop next to you have got their music playing so loudly. It's not in here, is it? We do the phone again? No, we can't do the phone again. We've done it. We've looked already at all of these things.
Just gotta find that check.
Yeah. We've got to find that check. Did she put it in the register? The thing she said she set up the night before.
The lilies would be in here, right?
Yes.
That could tell us who bought them.
Should.
I wasn't going to go back to the register because she'd thrown me off the scent by saying she set it up the night before.
Mr. Jedediah Lucan. Huh.
Interesting. $89 worth. Jed. Arrangement in standing basket. Okay.
Looks like the lilies are for Jed.
Well, not for Jed.
That's right. Riley dropped off an order for Jed.
Good, and that's the mists of doubt dispelled.
You'd figure it out.
Good work.
I couldn't have done it without you.
No, you couldn't.
Seriously, Alex. You're a godsend.
Yeah. Thing is, she can't spend
Jed
her
must be hosting some event.
entire time there, though.
I
In the
wonder
shop
why
with
he
you.
wants lilies, though. They're traditionally for funerals.
God. She doesn't remember.
But she asked her how you were doing. There's no point telling her. I can't think. I mean, she's distressed enough. Let's not make it worse.
You know Jed. Probably doesn't know the difference between a lily and a tulip.
Don't sell him short. He's more clever than he seems.
Interesting comment. That was my detective notebook scribbling down what she just said there.
Thanks again for your help. Don't be a stranger.
Hey, you're welcome. It wasn't you I was looking for. It was Mac. But
Promise.
anyway, it was good to meet you because
She
I
was
thought.
finally feeling better. I didn't want to ruin that.
No, I think it would have been a cruel thing to do, and it wouldn't have actually achieved anything. You'd have just made her distressed, and then she'd have got in a state, and you'd have had to spend the whole day there, and people would be looking for you because you'd gone missing. Right. I'm keeping an eye on the time, because as I said, it's about an hour long each episode with a bit of luck.
Eleanor said Mac is nearby. I don't see him here. Maybe at the bridge?
I'm not sure. Jasmine Cormier. Anyone have any good advice for taming stray cats? Found this cutie in my trash cans, but he's a crazy pants. Steph Gingrich. So that's a big cat. Jasmine Cormier. He's a chonker. And Mark Resendez, who we haven't met yet. Jasmine, that's not a stray. That's a mountain lion cub. Be very careful. They can be very aggressive when threatened. Try leaving a door open. It may leave on its own. Jasmine Cormier. And if he's under my bed? Emma Redding. Broom? Mark Resendez. I'm calling animal control. Haven Springs Realty. We couldn't be more excited to announce that a new face will be joining the community soon. Everyone, welcome Jack Stevens, who'll be taking over the restaurant next to the park. Jack Stevens. Hey everyone, excited to serve you all soon. Ellen and Leith. Welcome to Haven. Jed Lucan. Happy to have you. Swing over any time if you need anything. P.S. I hope you're not competing with the stuff I sell in the bar. Sonny Anderson. It's a trap. Joke. Yeah. Yeah, we've done that bit, Steph. Okay. Message received. We are searching for Mac at near the flower shop, and we've still got to go to see Steph at the record store. Okay. First, Mac on the bridge with a lead pipe. Oh, it's going to take you a while to get there at this speed.
I don't get it. Do people just not want ice cream anymore?
I looked over the budget. If we only open 3 days a week, we'll be able to scrape by.
Ooh, interesting.
Is that it? Are we always just going to scrape by?
Ooh.
Things will get better. Piratey Peaches is making an actual profit, remember?
Peaches.
Fine. You were right about Piratey Peaches.
Piratey
Truth
Peaches.
from Mac now. Sightsee later.
Okay, I thought I was.
Like peaches.
Where is the bridge?
Push the rum raisin harder. It's surprisingly
I'm just lost. I need a map here.
Actual rum in it again.
Oh, the bridge. Is the bridge down here? Is the bridge down here?
No. Anyway, I took out a...
Stop the discussion about ice cream, will you? Hello, bench girl.
that guy's sister. I feel so bad for her.
Getting sick of people feeling bad for me.
Hey, come on, Alex. It's human nature. This town's going to make a comeback. An ice cream will lead the way. Oh, all these conversations.
It's not your fault. But I was really looking forward to climbing Teller's Peak.
Right, okay. But you couldn't because...
I think the trails will be closed for a while.
The trail's closed.
Someone died up in the ravine a few days ago.
Yeah.
Well, we can try again when I come out with Mom and Dad for the 4th of July.
Yes.
That'd be good.
That'd be great. She's disappointed, I'm gonna bet.
Why should one accident close all the trails? What a wasted vacation.
Yes.
Ooh.
We're all suffering here.
Yeah, good one, Alex. You insensitive person. I'm noting you two. You've come to my attention. I'm still wondering where the bridge is. I'm going this way. Was there a bridge down by the... Oh, there's a miner. We've got to interrogate all of these people.
Shifts really take it out of me.
Yeah.
My sleep schedule's fucked.
Coffee in the morning, whiskey before bed. Works like a charm.
Really? What do you know? Tell me.
Talk about the accident? How would I know that? Fuck, now I'm on Diane's shit list.
Interesting.
Diane.
Yeah, thanks, Diane. So you've told all the miners not to discuss the accident? What is it you've got to hide, Typhon? You're rapidly accelerating up my suspicion list. It's a wind chime. It's not Mac.
Wind chimes. The original jam band.
Yeah. And we'll just read this poster because it's not one we've seen before, I want to think.
One doctor had me try meditation. I always just fell asleep.
$8 an hour to fall asleep. That's a business plan. Oh, we have a sign here. Threadbare Outfitters.
Nice to know. Hipsters can survive at this altitude.
Still got your sense of humour. It might see you through, you know, Alex. Good to see the deputy still leaning against his vehicle. Where is the bridge, please? Can anyone... Someone out there is watching this and screaming at me to tell me where the bridge is. I don't think it's anywhere near the Black Lantern. Oh, is there a sign in here? Oh...
Not sure when the words Gabe Chen and Wake will stop being weird.
No, it's a bit odd, isn't it?
But now, isn't it?
No. Never mind. I'm not going to go into the Black Lantern yet. It said bridge, and I can't find the bridge. God darn it. Was the bridge in the park? Will it let me go to the bridge? Was there a bridge in the park?
The park looks fun to explore.
The park looks great to explore. I have a horrible feeling it's going to turn me round in my tracks because this is not where the bridge is. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is. Plaque.
Sorry about leveling all your mountains. Here's a bridge.
Oh yeah, she's hilarious. Sorry about levelling all your mountains. Here's a bench. You're still looking for that bird. Honestly, I would help. I'm busy. Nice flowers. Nice carvings. Nice carvings.
I feel like there's a lesson here about love leaving a mark on the world. But I'm not in the fucking mood.
I say nice carvings. When does a carving become graffiti, become vandalism, become... I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's a tree sculpture. That's a carving.
This is cool. In a Wicker Man sort of way.
Yep. It sure is. Hello, newspaper guy. What are you thinking about?
This is awful. He was so young.
He must be reading about Gabe.
Yes, it's apparently made the Haven Springs Courier Gazette Almanac. Proprietor unknown. I don't think we can go this way. I realise I'm doing some endless exploring here, and it would be helpful.
That might be our feathered friend.
Where? Oh, the one you can hear? It could be.
I wonder if this is the bird that woman is looking for. Maybe I should let my binocular friend know.
Really? Really, Alex? Really? We could. We could go back that way shortly. This is the entire reason for us walking this way down here, was to find that. Well, look, I see a river, and where there's a river, there's usually a bridge, but I don't see the bridge. I'm going to walk back this way. Past the disc golf basket.
What if I'm secretly a total prodigy at disc golf, but never had the chance to find out?
Well, if you
Probably
stay
for the
around...
best, honestly.
Stay around in Haven Springs and you may be able to find out. Let's go and tell this birdwatcher woman about the bird. Every little good deed could be the key to unlock.
Oh, sorry.
There's a huge bird over by the wall.
There is?
Seriously? That might be my hawk. Thank you.
I'm glad to help.
Oh,
now,
sorry.
Could you just tell me who murdered my brother?
fine.
No, excuse me? Hello? Honestly, you do a good turn. Ah, I've spoken to you, glasses guy. We know what you're thinking about. But ask a policeman. Where's the? Excuse me. Where's the bridge, please? No. I can't. Oh, hang on. She came in across the bridge. Of course she did. Duh.
Tragically, now isn't the
That isn't the way to the bridge. That wasn't the way to the bridge. It was on the main street, because we walked straight into the main street. The flower shop was the first thing you saw. So, we need to go back this way. Oh, it's thirsty work, all this walking. I do love the artwork. I mean, the individual leaves on the twigs and branches on the trees are fluttering as we're walking past. Typhon mine employees still talking about their cover-up story and getting their alibis straight. Just you wait. Come on, Alex, come on. When I say come on, Alex, I mean, can you walk faster? Oh, could we go in the records? Or I'm not going to go in the... do you know what? I'm going to go in the record store.
By the record store if I...
She did. It's on my list. I can do Steph at the record store and then search for Mac near the flower shop. It said near the flower shop. It said near the flower shop. But then if I had read that, I would not have gone and found the hawk for birdwatcher woman or encountered the fact that the Typhon mining employees were being told to keep quiet about what happened. Buying Charlotte off, telling the employees to keep quiet. It ain't looking too bright, Typhon. Hey, Steph.
Steph asked me to swing by. She's got to be around here somewhere.
She will be.
Looks like Steph might be working on a new project.
Maybe so. And we've got a comic.
Another issue of legendary monster hunter Thanor.
Really? So, time to pay a visit to an old friend, Snap. Or should I say an old enemy. You don't belong here, Monster Slayer. I'm not leaving here till I get answers. Does that sound familiar, Alex? You won't be leaving at all. Dun 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 dun. No! Where is the Sky Sword? Fine, I'll tell you. The sword was last seen in the city of Carnaris. Carnaris? But it's infested with weir spiders. All who quest for that sword lose something dear to them. But I'm detesting to save the realm with the Sky Sword. Good thing you won't be questing alone. Owen! Right. It's nice to see that Ethan has recovered quickly from... Oh, hello, Valkyrie. Hi.
Val, I just want to be friends.
Yeah. Count your fingers when you've been near Valkyrie.
Chrissy looks sweet. It would definitely be wrong to claim someone else's lost dog. Right?
Yeah. Good picture, though. High chance of it being found, I think, based upon that picture. Unless some woman confuses it for a mountain lion and befriends it. Or man.
I can't believe he ordered that record. Fuck.
I know. It's very sad, isn't it? There's Steph, but let's just listen to what Hoodie Guy is thinking. Hello, Hoodie Guy.
How could Chrissy leave me? After everything we've been through together.
It's because
she's... Wait, isn't that the name of the found dog?
Oh, interesting. That's really weird.
Hey, you posted about a lost dog, right?
I think they have her over at Todd's Hardware.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll call them right now.
Do that. Or you could just go over there and
Hi,
get some
I'm
exercise.
calling about the lost dog. Chrissy?
We've seen the drinking bird.
Oh, thank God. Is she there now? Oh, awesome. Yes. Thank you so much.
Good, good.
Can I pick her up today?
Yeah. Sure.
No sweat. Take your time. I'll wait.
That's all fine. See you later. Dude, your phone call's finished. You can stop pretending now. Another one. Something in the water in this place makes people's phone calls go on forever. We'll look first.
Haven's favorite and only choice for modern rock.
Okay, let's say hello to Steph. Hey, Steph.
Hey, I'm glad you stopped by. I've only got a sec, but...
But...
Have you talked to Ethan at all?
No. Why?
He's taking it really hard. But what you did for me this morning got me thinking. What if Ethan needs something like that too? Something fun and distracting. Something like a LARP.
Like the one you and Gabe were going to take him to?
That would be nice.
But designed just for him and Thanor.
Can we do that?
Can we even pull that off?
It won't be high production value, but it'll still be fun. I need your help though. I want it to be as good as it can be. Ethan gave you one of his comics, right?
Yes.
So, what do you think? Who would the famous monster slayer have the most fun defeating?
Well, they're both about dead people. Cravius, Lord of the Underworld, or Stormrider, the Undead. So, on the whole, I'm going to go Cravius.
Cravius looks pretty badass. Go with that.
All right, then. Oh, I gotta get back in there. There's some stuff in my comp book. Be cool if you could check it out. Help me make some calls.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay. I've got to go and see Mac, though, because he's, But let him stew. He's perhaps thinking of throwing himself off the bridge.
Hey, Haven listeners. That was Phone Tap with their new single, Elephant in the Room. We've got a sweet block of...
All right.
But first, a few announcements.
What have we got to do?
Just around the corner. Sponsored by
Helpful.
Back in 5 or 10, maybe 15. Okay.
Typhon Mining Company. Admission is free this year, so bring your friends.
Oh. Looks like Steph wants me to do more than just make some decisions.
Ooh.
She wants me to play a bard.
You walked into that one.
Guess I'm in. Let's start with my name.
Yes, okay. Name. Now let's not be Alwyn. Or shall we be Alwyn? Could she be Alwyn? It's a character that's in the story, isn't it? Go with Alexander. No, let's go with Alto.
Alto is a good name for a bard.
Yeah.
Ability time. Distortion Field sounds fun, but Healing Serenade could really come in handy.
I mean, you're already kind of into the healing thing, aren't you? So I think Healing Serenade would appeal to you more.
Healing Serenade it is. How did I meet Thanor?
Oh, well, that's a question. It's a funny story. Can it be a heroic story? No, make it a funny one. It might appeal to Ethan.
A wolf and an ogre walk into a bar. Oh, God.
Well, you asked for
This
it.
LARP thing just might work.
If it makes you laugh, it should make Ethan laugh. And he's really into it, whereas you're not. Is that it? Can we leave now? Are we done? Is everything finished? Yes, it is. We can go. We can go search for Mac. We've read the mining flyer. Let's go. Near the flower shop. And we're on the hour mark now, so I think if we find Mac near the flower shop and have our conversation with him, that will be plenty for today to consider and dwell on. There's a few good things there. Okay, young lady.
Eleanor said Mac is nearby. I don't see him here. Maybe at the bridge?
She's already seen it. She's already seen what you did. Wow, fancy that. People are fast with their messaging round here, aren't they? Where was the flower shop? I've got to try and remind myself of the layout. It might help if I stood in the middle of the road. Where was? Can anyone remember where the flower shop was? Well, I was going this way, wasn't I? Was I? No. I was going this way. The flower shop was down here. Yeah. You're still talking to that guy? He's a big disappointment. You need to find yourself a new guide who can take you to different trails and things. You don't want to go to that one. Oh, I think I might have gone the wrong way. If I've gone the wrong way, I'll cut this bit out. I'm making a mental note of where it is. I apologise for that. I'm a bit lost. I'm terrible at navigating. I'm great where there's lots of trees. What do you mean there's loads of trees? Depends on your definition of loads. Right. Let's jog down here. Where's the flower shop? Behind me. Okay, here we are back at the flower shop. And search for Mac near the flower shop. Okay, I will. I finally worked out, by the way. Oh, Eleanor, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm glad you remembered to send me a text. That's a good sign. And she's feeling much better. Good. I finally worked out, by the way, how to jog. I'd assumed, stupidly, that it was not possible to do so. And actually it is. Well, this is the bridge, and here's Mac. Hey, Mac. Let's have a look at you first.
Time to get the truth.
Here it comes.
I'm so fucked.
Can't hide from me forever, Mac.
No, she can see inside your head. Let's chat, shall we?
Mac,
Alex. Look, it's not a good time.
You owe me an explanation about what happened to Gabe.
What?
Ooh.
Costing me my girlfriend wasn't enough for you? Now you're gonna accuse me of killing Gabe too?
Are we going to be direct here? He's obviously afraid. Let's do the I get you're afraid.
I get it. He died on your shift and you're freaked. But you have to come clean.
She's being understanding.
Please. There's nothing I can tell you.
Mac, come on.
This is Typhon, isn't it? Telling its employees to say nothing.
He was my big brother.
Yeah, come on, Mac. Come on, Mac.
I can't.
Ooh.
Something definitely has him scared. Maybe if I could tap into his fear, I could get to the truth.
Do you know what? I think you're right.
I just need to find something I could use to push him over the edge.
When you say push him over the edge, you don't mean over the edge of the bridge. You mean... Yes, I understand. A slightly more precise choice of language could have helped avoid an attempted manslaughter charge. Alright, look. I'm at the hour 7 mark, and I'm going to stop at that point because whatever it is she's got to try and find to encourage Mac to open up, I'm not sure where it is. We may have to do some looking around. It could be somewhere away from where we are. So we'll come back to that in episode 6. That was a nice meaty episode, episode 5. There was a good bit of finding out there, and we got to speak to a lot of the people that were on Alex's list of to-dos. I'm really not sure about Matt. I keep trying to think whether it could be him. What is he covering up? I don't know. Look, we'll come back for episode 6. Thanks for watching. That was episode 5, and I'll see you shortly. Bye.